Hello and welcome to another edition of the Cropland Genetics AgriSolutions Crop Cam. I'm Mark Oman, Seed and Agronomy Advisor. Today I have with me Chris Turk from FCA Co-op. Today we're going to talk a little refresher course on aphids and of course now spider mites coming into the area, another insect we need to focus on a little more. Quickly on aphids, I have an example here. You can see there's a colony started in the trifoliate, different stages of the aphids, some larger ones with a lot of little ones coming. We all know they can repopulate real fast and spread through your fields and within the plant very fast. So Chris, on the aphids, we're going to find them where on the soybean plant. You have one in front of you there. Can you kind of walk through a soybean plant where you'd find aphids versus spider mites?
Aphids will typically show up first on the new trifoliates. The younger, tender leaves will be the first place you'll see them, as you can notice them on these new trifoliates. The larger the leaf, the older the leaf as we get to the top, they won't show up on those until the plant is heavily infested. So if you see aphids throughout the stem and on the old leaves, then you typically have a severe infestation. Spider mites, on the other hand, you can find spider mite symptoms all the way through the mid-range of the plant up into the top leaves. So don't look at the same areas if you're looking for both insects.
So certain areas of the field, spider mites versus aphids, where would you see spider mites infest your fields first, Chris?
Typically you'll find them starting around the edges of the fields, or if you have waterways, any type of grass areas, you'll notice symptoms. It kind of looks like stippling, brownish borders around those grassy areas. That'll be the first symptoms if you have spider mites.
Okay, so the spider mite has 8 legs versus other insects that have 6. They're a lot smaller and harder to find than aphids, so really need a hand lens of magnification. So the other thing is the reproduction of spider mites is just as bad as aphids. We talked about spider mites. How fast can they repopulate, Chris, in 6 to 10 days? What are you looking at?
Spider mites can grow 70 times what their original population is in that small amount of time. A good way to check for spider mites also, since they are so hard to see, is any kind of a hand magnification lens, and then take your plant and shake it or tap it over a white sheet of paper, and then you should be able to look. You'll have dirt specks, other items from the plant on there, but a spider mite will show up very easily. First of all, it'll be the only thing that'll be moving, but it'll be the size of small dirt specks on the paper.
So both insects are what we call sap suckers, the aphids and the spider mites, so it's definitely something we need to take care of. Yield robbing, within a week you can lose a lot of yield. Ground rigs, Chris, what's our gallons and our nozzle selection that we should use on ground rigs?
We want to run more of a flat fan style pattern, 15 minimum up to 20 gallons. Try to run decent pressure, don't run real low pressure, but on the same token you can't fog stuff in at 100 pounds pressure either. You have to run kind of a happy medium. And then airplanes, if they're run with planes, more of a 3 gallon per acre, 2 gallon per acre.
Great, and with both them applications, a product like Interlock, a spray droplet modifier, is definitely good for canopy deposition and getting that canopy covered from top to bottom, especially when you have insects in the lower half of the plant as well. When we talk about products, Chris, for aphids, we have Lorsban style products. Ours is Yuma. There's organophosphate family there. You got the pyrethroids, the new generation pyrethroids, the tundras, capture-like products. But for spider mites, now we got to watch what we do there. What style products or brand name products should we be using for spider mites and aphid control if a guy needs to go after both of them?
You're going to be looking at anything with a Lorsban style product on it. Those type of products will take both the spider mites and your aphids at the same time.
Great. And then there's also the new generation pyrethroids, the tundras, the capture style products. Keep in mind that 6 ounces per acre on spider mites, 4 ounces on aphids, and your Lorsban at a pint per acre. Chris, for guys that have any questions for you, FCA Co-op's got locations in multiple cities. Could you tell us about the locations of FCA Co-op and some of your phone numbers?
For agricultural or agronomy issues, we've got locations at Okabena, Round Lake, Lakefield, Jackson, and Trimont. For getting a hold of me at our location, the office number would be 662-5285, and extension 7000 will get you into our office, and then you can ask for Matt or myself. Cell phone number is 360-0006.
Great. Thanks for being on the show today, Chris. And this wraps up another edition of the Cropland Genetics AgriSolutions Crop Cam, found only on US104.net.